Moinsen, Sportfreunde und Basketballfreunde, willkommen zu einer neuen Runde. Ich wollte gerade Minecraft sagen, ne? Nee, NBA2K18. Heute im Stadtderby Brooklyn Nets gegen die New York Knicks. In der Arena von den Nets. Nö. Gut. Trikots. Statement. Ja, da, los, Netz. Ja, gut. Ups, das weiß ich nicht. Gut. Association Icon. Genau. Association Icon. So. Und. Let's go.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the New York Knicks going up against the Nets in Brooklyn. And for Brooklyn, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. The Brooklyn Nets appear to be in Plan B mode. You remember when new ownership came in 2010, they spent big, traded aggressively for some big-name free agents, hoping it would put them in the hunt for a title. Hasn't exactly happened, Jet.
No, they took that shot, and it didn't work. It didn't work at all. But it's tough to rebuild now. You know, a lot of those picks were traded away to the Celtics, and they are going to just be a strong basketball team in the coming years.
Well, you're right, Ken. It didn't work. That's why they had to put a new front office in place, you know, bringing on some talent from San Antonio. We know how they do it in San Antonio. They're taking the patient route, building from the ground up.
And that is it. Just about time for tip-off. We'll see you later.
Okay. Dann schon mal für euch als Info, ich habe die vierte Zeit auf 3 Minuten runtergesetzt, weil das uns einfach so... Okay, das ist neu. Hat einfach damit nicht so lange dauert,
Spangled Banner by the terrific Linda Lynn, getting us ready for NBA basketball here on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. This, their first look at this year's New York squad. The previous season series split right down the middle. These teams were quite evenly matched.
No,
two teams here that were evenly matched a season ago as they split the season series.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, Kristaps Porzingis was taken with the 4th pick in 2015, and he was considered a project then. But he's shown himself ready, and part of that has been his mentality. He said they thought I was afraid, but that's not who I am. I'll never back down from anybody. If I want to succeed, I can't be scared of anybody. I've got to be fearless out there on the court. Kevin?
Thanks, GA. And what's scary is Porzingis is only going to get better. That kind of fearlessness will help him in the long run. For the two teams tonight, Brent, it's been a rough ride as of late. Everything seems to be working against you. What do you do to try to right the ship, get back on track?
There are sometimes during the seasons, Kevin, where you need to be reminded of what training camp was supposed to represent for your team. So you get 30 games in and 40 games in. Maybe you lose track of what the mantra was for camp and how you wanted to set that foundation. That could be a thing tonight for this team. Remember what training camp was for you. Bring that message to the floor.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. A starting 5 on the floor. And New York, looking at who they've got. We've got Williams. Burke is out there with Hardaway. Then it's Enes Kanter. And it's Porzingis in at the power forward position. Fast break, here they come. On up the court. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
Wieder gut los.
The story is true, and here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
Now here's Burke. Pass to Porzingis. That one falls coming off Burke's feet.
They're going to take a little bit more to get Porzingis off of his sweet spot in his offensive game now.
And Brent, there aren't a lot of places quite as special as playing here in New York and on this floor. What was it like for you the first time you played against the Knicks in New York?
Unbelievable. I love getting to the big city every year. Amazing to be inside the Garden. I have to tell you, Kevin, one of my favorite things was to walk to the New York Knicks opposing team locker room and see the poster of Frank Sinatra outside the locker room. He did it his way, and we ended up doing it ours.
You have two things working here, the turnover and then the excellent finish.
And good job of transitioning end to end there. There was no hesitation.
Now here's Porzingis. Last game with 30 points. Here's Williams. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Bosch passes to Hollis Jefferson. And it's Russell in the corner. Sinks the three.
Oh, yeah.
Great play call. Just so often an initiator. Russell can also catch and fire.
Now here's Hardaway. Guarded close. Cantor kicks to Burke. Knocks it loose. And stolen by Russell. 2 on none. No one back to stop this. And Mozgov throws it down.
It's contagious. Every guy on the team working to keep this streak alive.
It's so fun when you're rolling like this. You just want it to continue as long as possible. And right now, fingertips are ablaze.
Now here's Mozgov.
Sure.
A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on Mozgov. The Knicks shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
Sure.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Nets adding their own G-League affiliate, the Long Island Nets.
And the Nets franchise originally, remember, based in Long Island. So nice to have that homecoming. And of course, with young talent development, so critical for this Nets organization. Having that minor league team in close proximity, very valuable.
Now here's Lee. Beasley outside. Now here's Burke, defended by Lynn. Picked by Lee. Just 5 on the clock. A 3. No good that time.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails.
Okay, aber ich glaube, das gibt Videobeweis,
love
ne?
to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
And it looks like they are going to review the play. The question, did he get the basket off in time?
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing it up, and even before we look at the replay, I'm pretty sure he got that off in time.
Das rechts stimmt aber nicht so 100%.
They're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, and looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take a
Nee, doch,
look at it.
hat gezählt. Oh, nice,
Like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you gotta use it.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. It's the Nets up by 11. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And Jeremy Lin, a player who's come a long way in his time in this league, from going undrafted out of Harvard to where he is now. He says he remains very grateful.
I wasn't sure, if my career would ever pan out the way I was hoping for, or if I would be able to stay in the NBA. And so for me to be here playing, to be able to know I'm going to play in the game, in an NBA game, it's just, it's pretty cool.
Well, in a game filled with some pretty big egos, there are also guys like that who are living the dream in their own very grateful way. Lynn has certainly seen the highs and the lows.
And Kevin, not everyone's a superstar and certain of their future. Sometimes you get to be a superstar for a brief moment in time, but this game has a way of humbling people, even those who started out humble.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And the Nets have been rolling right along here, haven't they?
And I felt like in that first period, the difference really was their ability to execute offensively.
Yeah, so you move the ball around, you move your guys around, then you find good shots. That's a healthy recipe to build a good lead.
Allen is out there with Chris Bosh.
Ganz kleinen Moment. Settings. Scan the Rookie Pro All-Star Superstar Hall of Fame. Kasten.
Then it's Jeremy Lin. Then it's Damari Carroll. And it's Dinwiddie in at the 2 guard. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Deep 2 from Carroll. Again, the Nets for 2. Brent, 15th overall is where you were drafted, right in the middle of the first round. A very nice place to be. Talk about the nerves waiting for your name to be finally called by the commissioner on that podium.
Well, Kevin, I wasn't nervous, and I'll tell you why. Actually, I was nervous, and it was more about the captain landing the plane. You and I have shared this story, and I'll share it with you again. During that draft, I was actually on an airplane and did not see one moment of the NBA draft in 1996. So my biggest nerves were that the pilot was going to bring the plane down safely, and then I watched the draft on VCR about 2 hours later.
No kidding.
That's the truth.
Wow.
So the best part about that, Kevin, I'll tell you this, is the fast forward button.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't the first pick. We could fast forward that, or the second, or the third, and we got to that 15th pick, and what an honor to have my name called in the first round of the NBA draft.
An honor indeed. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mozgov.
And let's take a look now at some stats for Joakim Noah.
Sure.
Some last season stats for him. He averaged about 5 points a game last year, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And every team needs a good backup big to spell the starters, and that's what he brings to the table.
The role consists of rebounding, setting screens, protecting the rim. Anything else he gives you is found change in the couch.
There are a fair amount of explosive point guards in the league, and Moutier.
KO!
Brent, the way he can just blow by a guy and eyes up is incredible for a guard his size.
Yeah, Moutier can cover a lot of space with just one dribble, so take up the...
Stell die Schwierigkeit jetzt mal wieder hoch. Settings, Pro.
ground that's being offered up to you by your defender. It's just tough to remain consistent with that kind of shot attempt night after night over the top of defender and with contact. We'll see as he progresses how that goes.
So for the Knicks, Enes Kanter's checked in for
Auswechslung bei den Knicks.
Williams comes in for Courtney Lee. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Emmanuel Moutier. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Beasley the screen. 4 on the shot clock. Will it go? And he hits the jump shot. Beasley's got his first basket of the night.
When a guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
Out to Russell. No good that time. And New York will come the other way, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And really, you'd like to just see more from that inside game offensively. In that one, it didn't happen.
And sometimes your poor shooting from the perimeter can dictate, it should dictate, that you go to the inside. Tonight, they didn't do it.
The shot by Carroll, no good.
Well, from our angle, that looked like that was going in. But defense, fantastic how they contested it.
Hardaway kicks to Williams. Pass to Ntilikina. Dishes to Kanter. The feed to Hardaway.
Okay.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. That free throw good from Hardaway.
Okay, Auswechslung bei Knicks. Und bei den Knicks.
Hardaway hits them both. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. And so it's Brooklyn in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. They kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. Back to the action after this word.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, und
Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They're leading by 16. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, the bench came in and helped them run away with this one. Tremendous job of getting loose, getting open, and drilling shots. You always want that spark off the bench, and these guys delivered.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow a way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started.
ja, kann ich auch.
Knicks trail by 16. And Brent, you went up against Hornacek as a player and even defended him a couple times. What was it like playing against Hornacek, the player?
Well, I want you to ask Jeff Hornacek if I defended him, because I thought I did a good job, and sometimes the box score didn't reveal it. But what a tremendous shooter, a great off-ball mover, certainly in that system with John Stockton. And if there was any room, Kevin, that I gave Jeff Hornacek, and trust me, there was plenty of times I did that, he was knocking down jump shots. One of the most efficient players in Jazz history.
On the court for the Knicks, they've got Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Burke. Then it's Enes Kanter, and it's Williams at the small forward. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Emmanuel Mudiay spent a year in China prior to the NBA rather than playing in college.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people respect what he did while he was over there. He said, being in a foreign country, everything is different. It made me mentally strong. Now in the NBA, he said, he's got to have confidence because every point guard in this league can play. You've got to keep that edge and be prepared at all times. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Mental fortitude is critical, especially when you're a young player in this league. On the free throw, no good. Brent, we've seen coaches that yell. You've seen some that show no emotion and everything in between. In your opinion, what's the perfect mental makeup for an NBA coach?
I don't think, Kevin, there's any exact science to what coaching can be. And I think the best coaches just have an innate ability to know when to push buttons, how to push buttons, and to do it on an individual level. There are many times that a coach can make the biggest impact with his player, Kevin, taking him aside and having conversations rather than doing everything in front of the team. And I think the best coaches have a pulse of each player on their team and take the time to go and do that.
Here's Mozgov. Mozgov throws it down.
And how about the aggressive side of Mozgov? Benefits the team when he's that energized.
Knicks trail by 16. Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And in last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Mozgov. And a new group in for the Knicks. Joakim Noah's checked in for Kanter. Beasley comes in for Williams. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Hardaway. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Trey Burke.
Yeah, good luck getting a shot over the 7-foot, 6-inch tall wingspan of Kristaps Porzingis. Just like to see the defense get more aggressive. They are asking for trouble as they're giving up open looks to this point.
And a big problem for the Knicks and their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming years.
And with Moutier, although he is a heavy rotation player, Greg, he is still somewhat of a project long term.
You know, it isn't always easy to be patient with Moutier, but that's what is needed. Slowly improving his efficiency, which is a big issue for him. And you can see the raw potential, but he has a lot of smaller things to clean up.
Und dann noch das. Und
that one is no good. Nets leading by 18 to the paint. LeVert the pass to Dinwiddie. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
New York moving the ball around. Noah's shot is off.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
The Knicks have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Outside, Porzingis. Easily outside. Knocked away. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession.
So.
.27 seconds left in the third quarter. Moutier. New York, no good that time either.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. There's the pick. Back to Russell. Puts up a 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
And that monster lead continues
Ja,
to grow. They are just piling it on now.
That's the attack mindset with which they entered the game with, and I wouldn't expect them to let up now.
And so it's Brooklyn, holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Right back after this break. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth.
So, letztes Viertel, meine Damen und Herren.
Brooklyn's gone a terrific 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in this game. We've got Jeremy Lin, Quincy Acee out there with Damari Carroll. Then there's Allen. And it's Dinwiddie in at the shooting guard. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. The shot's good from Ntilikina. Ntilikina's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Knicks. Carroll dishes to Allen. Lets it go from deep, and Damari Carroll with the 3. So often nowadays in transition, Brent, we'll see a guy get to the rim, then kick it out to someone standing at the three-point line. What's your feeling on that?
Kevin, who's at the three-point line?
Well, let's say Brent Barry's out there.
I'm more than okay with that. You know, so some of the guys, Kevin, in the new age are running to the three-point line, and as the ball gets to the rim, that's still something that Noah does very well. Seeing the floor, keeping his head up. Got to play with your head on a swivel. Noah does that.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. They set the screen. Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. Stolen by Noah.
So.
Over in the corner, Moutier. And the 3-ball is good. Moutier's got 5 points in the quarter.
And Moutier was given all sorts of room there, and he sinks that 3 like it was nothing.
Dinwiddie kicks to Lin.
So.
Not really his range, and it's off target. Knicks trail by 21. Here's Ntilikina. The basket good off the assist from Moutier.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Brooklyn.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this was a great team effort by everyone.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for D'Angelo Russell.
And so many times on the defensive end showed off those quick mitts, jumped all over the opposition and swiped the ball away a number of times.
Just 2 to shoot. Ntilikina can't hit.
That was what we call a brain fart. Not sure what was on his mind with that one.
A head scratcher there, and you wonder now how much control really does the coach have over this team?
So.
Passes to Dinwiddie. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's G. Got a hand on it. Here's Dinwiddie. From deep three-point range, they get the rebound. Then from long range. And
Ja,
so it's
und
Brooklyn
damit
easily grabbing this one.
ist
It was a tale of two
heute
teams
das Spiel auch
tonight.
vorbei.
Was in total
Nice.
control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is
Tja,
just
ich
so
bin
tremendous.
zufrieden.
Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Jeremy Lin, impressive team win tonight. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a great effort, 1 through 15. Everybody just coming out with high energy and playing team basketball.
The ball got going and it led to a big win, Jeremy. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
Tja.
For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. So long and good night, everyone.
Und damit war es auch für unsere heutige Folge NBA2K18. Ich hoffe, euch hat die Folge gefallen. Lasst eine positive Bewertung da. Ein Abo, falls ihr es noch nicht gemacht habt. Und aktiviert die Glocke, damit ihr bei einem neuen Video immer benachrichtigt wird. Und damit bis zum nächsten Mal. Haut rein. Tschüss und ciao.